This is Brian with Pokemon.com, and due to the number of people asking me about fake plushes, I'm going to make another video here for those of you, just to help a little bit more. Those of you who don't really care if you get a fake plush, or think because it's cute doesn't really hurt anybody, that's your opinion, that's fine. This video is for the people who actually want a real one and realize that when Nintendo has to combat fake plushes, they end up having to spend more money in lost revenue, and in return they have to raise their prices, so it does affect all of us whether you realize it or not. So first I'm going to break these into categories. I think that'd be the most easiest way to do it. So Pokedolls are first, then we have Tomy Takara. Used to be called Tomy, and when Tomy and Takara Toys merged a few years ago, they renamed it Tomy Takara, or Takara Tomy. Then canvas plush toys, and then some little special toys from the Pokemon Center, other limited edition Pokemon Center items, and then Pokemon Center items that were made for anniversaries. So first, this is the most faked of the Pokemon plush, would be the Pokedoll. Obviously the most popular, and basically when you check on eBay, you're gonna find that probably, whether you realize it or not, about half of the items on eBay are fake. You should call it fake bay. But basically, here's the easiest way to tell. I know this is hard because on eBay they don't show pictures of the tags, which is on purpose actually, because most of them don't have tags. And when I'm talking about the tag, I'm not talking about this white tag here. All these plushes have this. I'm talking about the actual paper tag. And there's 3 different styles for Pokedolls. It's actually one more that was made for an anniversary, but these are the main ones. This is the original Pokedoll tag. It always had Pikachu, no matter what Pokedoll it was. This one is Spinda, but it has a Pikachu tag. This tag lasted until about 2007, I believe. Then they switched it due to the number of counterfeit plushes coming out of Hong Kong and China. So if you get a plush and it's new after 2007, if it has this tag, it is 100% fake. They do not have any of plushes with this tag after 2007. And if you can see this one, it's hard to see, but this is 2003. So a lot of the Chinese and Hong Kong sellers on eBay will put this tag on, for example, a better example, Victini, which is a brand new plush, and it will have this tag. That is definitely wrong. It doesn't exist. And that is because in Hong Kong and China, everything's made in China, first of all, so whether you buy it in Japan or America, whatever, they're all made in China, which is what causes the problems. But they are not sold in China. So actually, you can't see it on here. It does say made in China, but they are not sold in China. They are only sold in Japan. And today I'm only going to talk about the Japanese ones. The American tags are all different, and I don't really know much about those because they are not sold in Japan. And I am in Japan. I've been doing this for 11 years. I'm not an expert, but I know I can help with a few things here. So the first tag was this one, and these are out of print. So if you buy an old Pokedoll like this Spinda, you might get this tag. Now if the Pokedoll comes like this with no tag, you're either going to get a fake one, or you're getting a used one and the tag ripped off, or best case scenario, you're getting a used one, but chances are you're getting a fake. The factories in China, they're only allowed a certain number of tags, so when they make extras or sell you a factory reject, for example with bad stitching on the ears or an ear missing in some cases, slight problems, they're called rejects, they're thrown away, but the people at the factory actually sell them on the side to people who then sell them on eBay. So you're either going to get a damaged one, or Another thing that they do is the factory will sell the pattern to another factory to make it, or they will copy, they'll buy one of these, tear it apart, and make a pattern out of it and reproduce it by themselves, which is illegal, but that also happens. And sometimes they make extras but don't have any tags, and the factory sells them for a profit, very cheap, because then you'll see them on eBay for $10 each, which is less than what they cost. It's the biggest hint that they're fake. So on to the next tag. This is the star-shaped Pokedoll tag. This was made in, I believe, 2007 until 2009, I believe. And if you notice, the character Eevee will match its tag. If it doesn't, it's fake. So always the tag has to match the plush toy. Then this tag was also made again in blue, starting in 2009. They changed it up a little bit, probably to confuse the counterfeiters or whatever. So if you see any new one, like this is the 2011 Victini, and it has the blue star-shaped tag. These are the tags that are currently being made. So next category we have is called Tomy Takara, and or Takara Tomy, whatever way you want to read it. And these toys are sold in the Pokemon Center and toy stores. So the Pokedolls were only sold in the Pokemon Center. These are sold in toy stores as well. So these are very, very easy to fake because they're sold at many different places. So I see a lot of these fake ones on eBay. So this is a Mulga, and it has the Mulga on the tag. It should match. Again, this was a counterfeit measure that Tomy produced to avoid people making one generic tag and putting it on all the plushes. Here you'll see Scraggy tag. Now the back is in Japanese, so sometimes, I mean, if you can't read Japanese, it doesn't really help, but sometimes I'll see a Japanese back of a tag with an English front of the tag, and that just doesn't work. And here is Zoroark. I've actually had two people send me pictures of Zoroark with a different tag, and these are bought on a popular game website. I won't mention it, but Zoroark on the tag, Takara Tomy, Japanese on the back. I've seen this with a Ho-Oh and Lugia tag twice now, and my guess is that store, which I thought was legitimate, actually bought them probably directly from China, from a factory who wasn't the real factory, and they had a different tag. So it should have the Zoroark tag. There is also a different version of this that was sold in game centers, but then it would have a tag like this. This is the Game Center version. These are the UFO Game Center plushes. They have these little white tags, very easy to copy. You'll see a lot of these really cheap on eBay. The tag is basically nothing, and they're all the same. They do say different things in Japanese, but if you can't read Japanese, it doesn't really help you. But the UFO plushes, they're different. They have strings on the top of their head, always. And a lot of times you'll see, for example, an Eevee with a string on its head, but then a Pokemon Center tag, actually usually this tag. That's definitely a fake. It should have, if it's a UFO plush prize, it should have this little white tag, and inside it will say only sold in Japan. So, and for sale for Game Center as a prize only, not for sale. So the last category I'm going to talk about is special ones. These are canvas plush toys. This is the Vaporeon, and you'll see canvas. These are only sold at the Pokemon Center, and you'll see again Vaporeon on the tag. So if you see this, I'm just waiting for these to come out on eBay because they're very expensive. These will probably be $10 for the fake ones coming out, who knows. But again, the character on the tag will match the character. And this is the musical series. This probably won't even get faked because it's not worth it. Not worth the hassle. You'll see it's a special Pokemon Center tag. And there will be very many different versions of anything that the Pokemon Center does. And here's another one. This is the Pokeball tag. This was Pokemon Center only. Again in Japanese on the back. And these you don't really see any fakes of. You'll see just the plush toy with no tag. Again, the tag character on the tag matches the character. That's the biggest clue that you're going to get a fake plush if the tag on the character on the tag doesn't match the plush. And the last one, this is actually from the Fukuoka Pokemon Center. So you'll see Pokemon Center Fukuoka. This was the anniversary Ashwat plush. And these obviously have special tags because it's an anniversary. So next I'm going to move on to eBay. And then at the end I'll post a list of all the sellers from Hong Kong and China that are known to sell fake toys. So you can compare it and try to avoid it if you see any on eBay. Okay, here is the worst offender of them all, of course, eBay, where at least half of the plush toys on there are fake. I would say about 95% of the fake ones come from, you guessed it, Hong Kong. So if you can see right here, item location Hong Kong. If it's from Hong Kong, don't buy it. You are going to get a fake. I'm sorry for the 2 or 3 legitimate sellers, but you will get a fake plush. I mean, it's unbelievable, some of these things. Now this seller, okay, here's the plush toy. You can see no tag. It's basically a stock photo or a photo. They don't have a tag, which is on purpose. They never show you the tag. The seller's PM Image in Hong Kong. And basically, let's go to their feedback. And you can see lots of negative feedback. Here it's 18, but a lot of times with these sellers, you won't get a refund until you change your feedback, so just keep that in mind. And a lot of people don't know. They don't realize that they got a fake plush. In fact, a lot of people don't realize. Let's try another one here. These are probably 2 of the most fake plush toys. Here, $9.99, no bids, of course, because a lot of people realize these don't have tags. These are complete copies right here. And guess what? Hong Kong. Surprise, surprise. And this is Ruby Lee 2010. They have a lot of feedback. Let's just check it out. And gee, 92 neutrals, 24 negatives. I'm not going to go through all these feedback, but again, people don't realize they're getting scammed. So just avoid Hong Kong if you can, and China. I apologize to the legitimate sellers if there are any, but from my experience, you're not going to get a real one. You're going to get some kind of factory reject or reproduction. This is EC transfer. This person is just pathetic. Look at this, 97 cents, no bids, 37 minutes left. Nobody's going to buy this because everybody knows it's fake. Again, no tag. Actually, this one, you can see a part of a tag. But again, I wouldn't even touch anything from this person. Again, Hong Kong. And their feedback. Again, 61 neutrals, 39 negatives. And if you go through their feedback, I've actually gone through it. Item smells musty, didn't have a tag, I think I got ripped off, the list goes on. And basically, if I give you any piece of advice, just stay away from Hong Kong sellers. You're not going to get, there's no way they could buy this item from Japan, have it shipped back to Hong Kong, and then sell it for that price. Now look at this, here's Umbreon. I went through this one last time. This is my favorite one to look at because it's always fake. Now this one, Umbreon, buy it now, $3.99. First of all, this thing costs about $12.50 to buy with the Japanese yen price. Then to have it sent back to Hong Kong and to sell it for $3.99 just doesn't make sense. So use common sense. This one, here's 1, 2 free. 365 seller. Again, they got lots of feedback because people don't realize they're getting scammed. Hong Kong again. This one actually says with paper tag, but if you look at the paper tag, you can't see it. and besides, it's not even the right shape. So, and more than 10 available. So they've got tons of these, even though they've been sold out for 3 years. 73 sold. So what does that tell you? They've got hundreds of them. That's another thing to look for. Look at the history. How many sold? 73. No way anybody selling these for $4 each for something that's been sold out for 2 years. These should be $40 to $60. It's common sense. They're fakes. So again, just use your common sense. I would avoid anything from Hong Kong. You know, it's a wonderful country. I've been there many times, and there's streets you can walk down. It's just filled with fake toys. Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, you name it. They got everything. So that's basically it. I'm gonna put a list up now of all the fake sellers that I know for sure sell fake plushes. And I hope this video was helpful. If you have any questions, let me know. But please don't send me any links to pictures and ask if it's real, if it's a seller from Hong Kong, because I'm going to tell you the same thing every time. It's not. So with that, I hope this video was helpful, and be sure to check out the list and see if any of the sellers that you bought something from are selling counterfeits. And if anybody wants to report an item, down here, report an item, you can report the item as a fake. I've done this hundreds of times. eBay won't even acknowledge it. So basically it's probably a waste of time, but if hundreds of people do it, maybe, just maybe, these sellers will have to stop selling. I kind of doubt it, but anyways, check out the list, and I hope this video was helpful. Thanks for listening.